Did the DA minister dupe the residents of Phoenix? Let's start here. When members of the public raised issues of the incompetent DA councillors, the minister on at least two occasions stated that it was not a political meeting and that he was not there representing the DA, that it was a government initiative. And yet, he insisted on having DA councillor Bradley Singh chair the meeting, despite community activist Mehraj Saklu raising an objection to this. Double standards, Mr. Minister, double standards. The meeting was scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. It only started at 2:45, 45 minutes late. No apology. That's sheer disrespect for those like myself who arrived on time. And if I was the minister, I would be embarrassed with the turnout. Less than 200 people were in attendance for such an important imbizo. One of the reasons for the low turnout, possibly poor choice of venue. But then again, it was in the ward where the DA is contesting a by-election. In his opening address, the minister advised that he was there to listen to every person's problem. Accordingly, to save time, a 60-second time frame was allocated to each speaker to ensure that every person gets an opportunity. However, without notice, the public representations were stopped after only 30 people had made representations. Apparently, they were out of time. Now this for a public imbizo which started 45 minutes late, where the government was supposedly engaging with the public, genuinely wanting to hear their concerns. When I approached Bradley Singh on the matter, he brushed me off, was not prepared to engage. Once again, a promise is made, expectations built up, then opportunity denied. Take your seat. Now, I wonder if such an imbizo was held in an informal settlement or rural area, if such an attitude would be tolerated. But then again, the DA seems to take the Indian voter for granted. Now, the minister's response to a journalist last week regarding his strategic use of the venue in Ward 110 to host the imbizo, he said that he wanted to address, I quote, the ongoing and unbearable water crisis plaguing the area, which is why he was there in that area. Now, by the time I left the hall on Saturday, after the minister had spoken, the audience were not given any reasons for the water crisis, nor told when the water supply will be returned to normal. In effect, he did not address the water crisis plaguing the area. The minister was quick to get the audience clapping when he announced a 20 billion rand budget for infrastructure, but he did not enlighten the audience on how much of that budget was allocated to fix the water infrastructure of the most severely affected areas of Phoenix, Tongaat, Verulam, etc. He also did not advise when the work would start and whether or not the public would have any oversight on how the budget would be spent. The Honourable Minister also did not advise the residents on feedback regarding the budget allocations, plan of action, progress reports, etc. Now, those that did get a chance to make representations, the minister was very keen to listen. He had a small book, emphasis on small, took down each complaint and took down their name. The resident left feeling that the complaint would be addressed by the minister himself. However, the minister did not take down the address or contact number of the complainant, nor did any of his officials engage with the complainant. Now, I'm fairly new to politics, I must admit, but even I know that to direct the relevant departments to deal with an issue, they must have an address and contact person to engage with. Otherwise, it was just an exercise to make the resident feel good. We care, vote for us. The minister, at the taxpayer's expense, set up an imbizo to listen to complaints from the public. He personally was taking down notes, creating the impression that he was going to deal with it personally. But if you take a step back and understand the link between government and the people is the ward councillor. Much of the frustration of the people had to do with incompetent ward councillors. And which party did these councillors belong to? Yep, the Democratic Alliance. The Honourable Minister justified holding the imbizo in Ward 110 Phoenix because of the ongoing and unbearable water crisis plaguing the area. The ongoing and unbearable water crisis is also plaguing Tongaat, and I would be bold as to say that Tongaat's water woes are probably worse than Phoenix. But the minister chose Phoenix. And so far, no plans in place to address the communities of Tongaat, Verulam, Chatsworth, etc. on this water crisis. Why is that? Could it be that there is no by-election in these areas? Nothing to gain? Now, if that were true, it would be a sad indictment on the minister. That would mean that the honourable minister from the DA used a government platform to unashamedly promote a political agenda. Did the minister intentionally dupe the people of Phoenix? As for the upcoming election, by-election in Ward 110, the candidates. Now, our candidate Pragasan Padyachi, with 11 years of experience under his belt, is by far the most experienced candidate on the ballot sheet, and experience counts in resolving issues that plague your community. But you, the voter, will make that choice. 1860 NIC Congress just offers you a fresh, new approach.
Tell her what you must, tell her what you crave, but don't tell her flop, don't tell her with the masala.